Guess what? Looks like the race towards artificial superintelligence is over. Well, that's because it looks like we are finally on the verge of achieving it. That's right, the future is now, at least according to Ilya Sutskever, the co-founder of OpenAI. To him and many others in the AI industry, this thing may actually have a major impact on the future of intelligence and even humanity as a whole. The death of pre-training. One of the first things that are set to occur in this new age of artificial superintelligence, according to Ilya Sutskever, is that pre-training will certainly come to an end. This is massive, especially when we consider the fact that many of the AI models we see today heavily rely on a lot, and I mean a lot, of text-based pre-training. With that in mind, we are compelled to wonder about what sort of models will replace the models that are trained in the current system. How will the AI industry adapt to the transition? The age of pre-training. According to Ilya Sutskever, the age of pre-training can be used to refer to the period in which models such as the GPT-2 model and other similar models, such as the GPT-3 model. He believed that these models, and those who helped facilitate them, are responsible for the drive of progress that was experienced during the so-called age of pre-training. Just look at the extra-large neural networks that were trained on huge data sets. As great as this pre-training era may have been, we have to accept that it is coming to an end. According to Sutskever, this end of an age may be due to the fact that although computers are advancing thanks to their much improved hardware and algorithms, all these things seem to do is increase the computing ability of the computer. This seems to be problematic when coupled with the fact that the data is not increasing or improving at the rate of the computers. Unfortunately, we only have the internet, and as such, it seems as though we are limited to the data it provides. This is problematic, especially as even Sutskever has gone on record to say that data could be considered to be the fossil fuel of AI. Considering how it seems as though we may have exhausted all the data available to us to train these AI models, we're going to have to figure out a new way to make things work. Thankfully, the gears in Sutskever's brain seem to have been churning because he came up with 3 key things that we will need to consider as we move forward. What's to come next? One of the first things Sutskever discussed is how agents are going to look like going forward. Already, these agents are considered to be the next big step in AI. Maybe this is because right now, although popular AI systems such as ChatGPT are good at generating responses right now, they are not truly agentic. As such, we are still working with AI models that aren't able to do things like set goals independently, reason about the environment on their own, or take meaningful action by themselves. That is why Sutskever is optimistic about a future in which the systems of the future will really be agentic and able to reason and act autonomously. Such capabilities will mark the full evolution of AI from being passive tools to being active participants that are able to fully collaborate with humans with their own reasoning and decision-making abilities. This is important because this will actually determine how we interact with these AI models and technology as a whole in the future. Just imagine a future where your personal AI assistant that can actually manage your affairs on its own. Imagine how much more work you will be able to get done with such a tool. The next thing Sutskever spoke about when he deliberated on the 3 important things to consider as we move forwards is synthetic data, and it could be the potential solution for the limitations of real-world data sets. That said, it seems to be as challenging as it is promising, especially when it comes to the research involved. Although they are still trying to figure out how to create this high-quality synthetic data, there is no denying that this could actually help us make up for the real-world data sets that we seem to be running out of. This may be due to the fact that these synthetic data sets are considered to be artificially generated data sets that mimic the properties of real-world data sets. With our ability to create them with the use of simulations, generative models, or even algorithms designed to replicate natural phenomena, there is every chance that they could make up for that lack of data we need to train these new AI systems. This is really important because if we do not solve this problem of limited real-world data, the advancement of these AI models are likely to come to a halt. Following this, Sutskever went on to discuss this graph that illustrates the well-established relationship that could be found in an animal's body and the size of its brain, thanks to the study of biology. If you ever happen to look into it, you may find that most mammals, the bigger the body, the bigger the brain. Makes sense, right? Well, somehow, human ancestors known as the hominids may have broken that trend and at some point, their evolutions allowed for brains that were faster than ever imagined when compared to their body size. Looking at this shift, we have figured out that perhaps there needs to be a different scaling rule for intelligence in humans. Looking at it now, Sutskever analysis of this shows that he is also considering the same thing for AI as well. With this in mind, those working with these AI models have had cause to find a new way to facilitate the advancement of these AI models, even if we have to do it when we run out of datasets in the future. Superintelligence. One of the most intriguing parts of Sutskever's opinion on this matter is when he focuses on where AI research may be directing its resources as they move on. This is when he came to superintelligence and where it may be heading in the future. He spoke about how it may actually be agentic, a stark contrast to what we have now with AI agents and AI models that need some form of human input to get to work. This superintelligence will give us AI models that will have the agency to redefine itself and set out its goals for itself. This is truly massive, especially as it is a huge transition from current models that can only respond to the prompts that are set for them. These models could prove to be so autonomous, they could do something that was never really considered as we strove to achieve this, reflecting on the environment. This will give them the ability to supersede the current AI models that we have today, as they will be able to reason through things while they carefully consider the problems that they may have to face from time to time. There is every chance that they may even be able to do this in situations that they may never have encountered before. This is an exciting future to consider, especially as we will likely be working with AI models that may be so capable of reasoning things with this new training that it may actually be able to get the full context of things. Well, at least as much as any human could. Truly fascinating stuff. This may be linked to the fact these future AI models may actually become self-aware. That is truly amazing. Imagine these AI models with their internal sense of self. This self-awareness will allow it to have its own reasoning process as it attempts to find its place in the world. This self-awareness will also help it reflect on what it is doing, which will be amazing because this can only help it improve on the things it does going forward. As such, there is every chance that these future AI tools will evolve into a new form of intelligence that can think and act on its own. Truly amazing. That said, there are still issues with problems such as hallucinations, if you can imagine such a thing. Hopefully, these AI models will be self-aware enough to auto-correct themselves up to the point where it can solve the hallucination problems themselves. This will help sort out any reliability features, and as such, we may be set for a future that will be able to change the way we work in the future. It is truly an exciting future to consider.